Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Does anybody care about the USFL draft?
So, hands up, I guess this won't be the poll question, but did you just learn the draft order for the USFL, or did you just learn the 8 teams that are in the USFL?
Both.
I'm the latter, yeah. I'm both. I mean, it was just, I was listening, oh, there's a team in Tampa? Oh, there's a team here? So I learned about that. We'll see after the draft. If I know any of the names of the players that get drafted, maybe I'll be interested. Mm-hmm. We'll see where it goes.
Will you watch? Because they're playing this spring, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's April 16th they kick off.
I don't know. As of right now, I would be betting on probably I won't be watching.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, as you would say, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. But if there's some players here and some intrigue that this is going to draw me to the TV, then yeah.
I'm interested in it, and I don't typify myself as a football guy, although the football people do. But here's the difference between a fledgling upstart football league versus, let's say, a fledgling upstart minor pro hockey league. Let's say the Southern Pro Hockey League, the SPHL. The hockey people would say this. News comes across, new minor league to start in southeastern United States. The hockey people would go, good for them. Hope it works. From the same news service, fledgling football upstart league to start in the United States. It'll never work. It's a joke. It'll never work. That's the football people.
Right. That's the difference.
And trust me, I know. Been around them for a long time.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Edmonton, you get ready for the Chris Jones Show. Like the 114 players that set a CFL record when he was with the Rough Riders in 2016, that might be light compared to what Jones does. Edmonton thinks they knew what they had with Chris Jones the last time he was there. And it was a Grey Cup in 2015. Yeah. But he didn't have the keys to the castle. Ed Hervey had the keys to the castle. Ed Hervey had to let Chris Jones into the castle.
Right.
And now Jones has the keys to the castle.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Heidi-ho, Canada, and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show on, you would think, a Monday, but it is a Tuesday. A very exciting 2/22/22 day on the RP Show. It feels like Monday, and in a moment you're going to hear why. But we continue to broadcast live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. RP here. Darren Moose DuPont there, joining me in the lobby, the foyer of the event center. How you doing, Moose?
I'm top of the world.
Yes, did you get a haircut?
I didn't. Does it look good, though?
Yeah, it does. Oh, and I did get a haircut.
You did. It looks good.
Yeah, very busy weekend around here on the RP Show. And I'm just going to tell the viewers now, full disclosure, because that's how we do things around here. I don't have any audio coming to me from the Millennium Falcon. Okay, the studio back in the sweatpants capital.
Okay.
So I think that's okay, but I can't hear like sound effects or anything, even the show horn when Jordan hits it, if he hits it, you know. So anyway, bear with me. I think you can hear me. Let me know in the comments section. And Bob's your uncle, and away we go. John Ohm writes in, says, what day is it? It's Tuesday, February 22nd. What do you mean, what day is it? It does feel like a Monday, though.
It does. Doesn't it?
The shortened work week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go any further and jump into the normal stuff that we normally do, let's jump back for the Great Western Brewing Company weekend photo album. What do you say, Moose? Because we had a very busy weekend out here in the foothills, and we weren't just in the gateway to the foothills. We were out in the Rockies. But it started Friday night. We went to the Rush. So I got to get used to changing that. Roughnecks, Vancouver Warriors. Look at that. Roughneck fever. Here's the thing about an NLL game. Obviously, I don't drink anymore, but I still left the game going, who won?
Oh, yeah.
I had such a great time. I forgot who won. Right?
It was so good.
Yeah.
They got their own song. They're doing the gun pistols.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I turned to Moose and I said, these guys are giving the Rush a run for their money.
They are.
For a game presentation, the Roughnecks and the Vancouver Warriors. And it was on TSN. Okay, guys, let's roll. I don't know, what day was this? Saturday. Rolled on out to Canmore in the coffee shop. What was the name of the
Good
place?
Earth.
Was it Good Earth?
Yeah.
Moose and I plotting world domination right there, see? And I love that painting. I was going to bring that home, but I didn't have $4,000 on me. Yeah. Okay, what else you got? Saturday night, I went out to Red Deer, Alberta, helped broadcast the Winnipeg Ice broadcast against the Rebels, and the Ice blew that one. They had a 2-0 lead after 2 periods, lost 3-2 to the Rebels, but it was fun to get into Central Alberta. I think there's a photo of Munsey and I here next. Brian Munn, I think. Maybe not. Then we went to the movies. Where are the movies? We supported our wonderful and longtime partner, Landmark Cinemas, and we went to, what is it, Jackass? Forever. I laughed so hard. If you people need a laugh, go to Jackass Forever at Landmark Cinemas. Wherever your closest cinema is, tell them that Moose and Rod sent you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's as wild as any of the prior Jackass movies.
You can't have any rating or any disclaimer. It's out there.
Wild, yeah.
But it is so funny. Really, really funny. So
by the way, the photo album brought to you by Great Western Brewing Company. Extra smooth, extra refreshing. Find Original 16 at a store near you today. So then I went to the Flames Jets yesterday while Moose was doing his thing, and you're about to see what he was doing. But I'm roaming around the Saddle Dome going, what's with all these Jets fans all over? This nice lady posed. That was just one of many photos I took of Jets fans in the Saddle Dome. It was great. And then I think we turn it over to your photos. Yeah, you take over. And make it quick.
So had company. Leanne drove down, and we went out to Lake Louise, took a shot there of the sign, and then beautiful day. It was cold, but there's a shot from the chairlift. The sun coming up over the mountains through the pine trees.
So nice.
It was gorgeous. So great day yesterday.
And there you go. By the way, Patrolman Pete's watching in Winnipeg. He says, nice hearing Rod's call of the Ice game on Saturday night. It was nice to be on the air. 1290 radio in Winnipeg. They have a contest. Who's going to score the first goal for the Winnipeg Ice? Nailed it. Zach Benson. I called it. The kid from the Lower Mainland, rookie for the Ice, scored. I don't know how. Do. Roger Yee writes in, he says, glad you guys got to experience our Roughnecks game. It's such an awesome atmosphere. I love when the announcer tells the other team to get in, sit down, and shut up. I didn't notice that. It was very similar to a Golden Knights game, and then I'm looking around going, what? I didn't know what was coming next.
Right.
That's the NLL for you, man. If you're not on board, you're not on board. So, and by the way, I think these WHL teams and these sports teams that tell me they watch the RP show every day, Moose, in their dressing rooms, their locker rooms, they watch it every single day. I'm getting a lot of that out here in Alberta on Game Plus television. Okay, now, if we can hit the quick six show horn, Director Jordan, I'm just going to assume that it's airing. I can hear him.
When they open up the mics, Jordan talks, I can hear the show horn there.
I don't have all the NHL games, but I have the ones that we were paying attention to from Family Day Monday. Tyler Mott had a goal and an assist, and the Vancouver Canucks bounced back with a decisive 5-2 win over the Seattle Kraken on Monday. Travis Hamonic, Vasily Podkolzin, Bo Horvat, and Tanner Pearson also scored for the Canucks. Not like it matters, though. They're not making the playoffs. In the midst of an horrendous season, the Montreal Canadiens gave their fans one glorious moment Monday night, a 5-2 thumping over the Toronto Maple Leafs. All the Habs fans that were trolling the Leafs fans, stop it. That's why Montreal's got the most annoying fans in the NHL.
Right.
And they know that they are, and they don't care, which I respect. I don't know if you weren't watching it because you were on the ski hill, but I was watching it. It was 5-0 Habs after 2 periods. Get into the third, and it's bing, bing, Leafs score. And Chris Cuthbert's like, got very quiet in here. It's funny. Thanks to Elias Lindholm's last-minute dramatics on Monday, there are now 2 entries in the Calgary Flames record book, 2 new entries. Lindholm's game winner with 46 seconds to go extended his goal streak to 8 games. That ties a Flames record, I believe. And the Flames' winning streak to 10 straight games, that ties a franchise record as Calgary defeated the Winnipeg Jets 3-1. Let me just spend a minute on that game. It's my commentary today on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98.5. I knew going into the game it was going to be low scoring. I'm sitting in my seats at the Saddle Dome going, Jacob Markstrom, Connor Hellebuck, this is exciting. This is a classic goaltenders marquee duel here, but it's going to be low scoring. It went into the final minute, as I just read, and Lindholm scored the winner in the last minute, and then Tyler Toffoli buried an empty netter. Flames won it. But there's little things that I enjoy about going to NHL games that not everybody sees, like Adam Brooks. You were asking me how Adam Brooks played.
Yeah.
Brooksy Bucks. Played great for the Winnipeg Jets. He's playing for his hometown team. He's bounced around just this year with the Canadians, the Golden Knights, now the Jets.
The Leafs twice.
He started with the Leafs, right? And he looked good. We can't figure out why he doesn't stick with teams. He can skate with anybody. He was a minus on the night. I noticed that. There's that. And then Chris Schlenker, another former Pats captain, just like Adam Brooks, was reffing the game. Looks so much like, is it Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber? The blonde guy in Dumb and Dumber? That's Schlenker for you. So I sent him a text. I'm like, Schlenks, let me know next time you're in town. In Calgary, we'll get together. So March 3rd, he's coming in to do the Habs-Flames game.
Perfect.
So those are just fun things going to the Saddledome. But this is what I found. The Jets, they're just not good enough. I don't know whether they're going to make the playoffs or not, but they weren't going to beat the Calgary Flames. Like this Flames team. No team in NHL history has swept a homestand of 7 games or more until now. The Calgary Flames.
Yeah, you watch them play, and the brand of hockey they're playing just seems to identify with the city. They're playing tough, but not rough, if that makes sense. It's tough hockey, but it's still fast. They're scoring goals. I, again, continue to be a big fan of their back end. It's so good. And even in the game, like Seattle hung in on the weekend for a while. They were just getting outplayed and outshot, but they hung in, and eventually the Flames were too much. And that's what I like, and is probably really positive for Calgary fans, is that it's not the Flames just winning games. They're actually, controlling time of possession. They're controlling the play. They're the better team night in and night out.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at my Saskatoon Blades bunny hug that I'm wearing right now, and I'm glad that these cameras are good, but they're not so good that you can't pick up the soy sauce that I splattered all over it at the buffet here last night. So you couldn't even tell.
I couldn't tell.
You really got to look close to find the soy sauce, but I got to get this thing washed. I'll answer a few questions as we go. From Daryl in Toronto, he says, how was the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex? Well, it was amazing. It was amazing. We went out there Friday night. We went to the Roughnecks game first. I said, Moose, let's roll over and check out the Hitmen and the Ice. So we went over there. It's not that far behind the Grey Eagle. Seven Chiefs Sportsplex, multiple sheets of indoor ice, 1 sheet of outdoor ice, a gym facility. What can I tell you? It's a 2,000-seat hockey facility with an NHL caliber scoreboard dangling from the middle of the building.
Right.
It's great. You got to check it out. You got to go. I guess the Hitmen are home to PA on Wednesday. I don't know if we're going to go or not. I got to think about it. The Raiders were asking me. I said, one day at a time, guys. Yeah. The Leafs are bringing an Ontario product home. The team traded future considerations to the Arizona Coyotes for netminder Carter Hutton. The 36-year-old is from North Bay. And I don't quite understand this. The San Jose Sharks have claimed forward Ryan Dzingel off waivers from the Leafs. The Leafs acquired Dzingel along with defenseman Ilya Lubushkin from Arizona on Saturday in exchange for Nick Ritchie and a conditional pick. Why would they acquire Dzingel and then turn around and waive him?
They wanted to put him in the minors. And so because of the one-way contract, he had to go through waivers to get down to the minors. The defenseman was the big key in the asset, or the big key in the trade. For Dzingel, they thought maybe he could come in and be a depth forward, but salary cap things and roster jostling, they had to put him in the minors. Mm-hmm. He had to go through waivers, and San Jose took advantage.
For the Ballers, here we go to point 2, NFL, XFL. We might have a Rod rant cooking here for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, because here's the story from the Associated Press Wire. The NFL is collaborating with the XFL for player safety and health data. The XFL, which plans to relaunch in 2023, will be working with the NFL on physical and mental fitness programs for players, the study of playing surfaces and equipment, and the sharing of game trends and data. The agreement comes roughly 7 months after the CFL and XFL ended talks on a potential partnership. In March of 2021, the two football leagues announced they were poised to begin serious discussions about a potential partnership. The decision to halt the partnership talks came with the CFL poised to kick off the 2021 season after not playing at all in 2020. But news the CFL and XFL were talking in March made headlines across North America given Dwayne Johnson's fame as an actor and former pro wrestler, The Rock. You all know that. Right. We got sound. I got it. Thank you. Whatever you did worked. Best, fastest pit crew in the business right here. From the RPShow. And I got you. We're good. So I think I had about 11 to 12 people sent me the XFL, NFL link, the article on the weekend. And in each instance, I sent it back and said, why are you sending me this? What are we saying? I saw what people were saying on Twitter, saying, oh, the CFL's missing the boat on this. Blah, 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 blah. CFL doesn't want to partner with the XFL. The ship has sailed. I don't understand. This is progressive. This is The Rock. This is the guy that was on the mic to kick off Super Bowl. Are we shocked that the XFL and the NFL would go into partnership together? And would we be shocked the CFL wouldn't want to work with anybody or change? No. How's any of this news?
It's not. The interesting thing for me is that when we suggest that it might be beneficial to have a partnership, people are against that.
Yeah.
And then when they partner with somebody else, well, why didn't we do that? It's like, I don't want you until you're with somebody else. And now I can't stop thinking about you. Right?
Stop sending me the articles.
It's like the validation you need. Somebody else has to tell you she's hot for you to think.
And then you want her.
And then you want her.
Dumb.
It's too late. It's too late.
And incidentally, the USFL draft goes today. Moving on to point 3, WHL one-timers. Let me check the clock here. We got time for this. Justin Sordiff scored 2 goals and added a helper, and teammate Josh Williams scored 2 of his own as the Edmonton Oil Kings won their 6th game in a row. They beat the Winnipeg Ice 6-3. Listen, with all apologies to the Jets and Flames, a lot of Winnipeggers were more interested in the Ice game at Edmonton. I'm not joking. The Ice have now lost 2 games in a row. That's not good. Josh Davies, and by the way, the Winnipeg Ice are the number 1 team in Canada. 12 straight weeks. In the Queen City, Josh Davies and Carson King did all the scoring for the Swift Current Broncos in a 4-3 victory over the Regina Pats. Connor Bedard had a goal and an assist for God's team. The attendance I saw was over 5,700, so clearly nobody was bitching about ticket prices Monday.
Yeah. How about that?
Reese Vitelli scored a hat trick, leading the Prince Albert Raiders in a 4-1 win over the Medicine Hat Tigers. In the Loops, Kamloops needed a shootout to edge Everett 4-3. In Langley, BC, Caleb Wilms and Riley Gannon each had a goal and a helper as the Victoria Royals blanked the Vancouver Giants 3-0. And lastly, late goals from Samuel Huo and Dagan McMillan weren't enough for Tri-City as they fell 5-3 to Kelowna. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're only 3 points to the quick 6 show topics here. Here's what else I want to talk about. Moose has brought up Aaron Rodgers is making news again. I would quite frankly, I've had enough of Aaron Rodgers already, but I know the world hasn't, so I'll be open-minded enough to talk about that. NFL prospects complaining about COVID restrictions at the Combine got their way. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Why weren't we doing this 2 years ago and just bitching and we get our way? NBA All-Star Game wrap and Olympics wrap. And whatever you folks want to talk about. On the way today, Arash Madani from Rodgers Sportsnet and the voice of the Calgary Stampeders, Mark Steven, right here at Grey Eagle. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching on Game Plus Television. We're back on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio, rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino dancing.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Well, a beautiful day out on the slopes. How about that? How beautiful is that? We're back at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. And hey, lo and behold, how about this? I don't see a difference. Do you see a difference? Darren just informed me in the break, the pair of squirrels that we are, that we didn't even have the lights turned on here to start the warm-up here today on the RP show. I don't really see a big difference.
Jordan probably will. Maybe a little one.
Well, the lights are on. Anyways, so we've got a few topics to get to. And by the way, I'm multitasking here. If you read the latest entry, the latest column at rodpedersen.com, I mentioned that my advisors in Florida are encouraging me to write more. And they said to continue my CFL media career, which dates back to 1991. Look it up. So I wrote a top 10 CFL off-season storylines column, and the comments are coming in on that. So I'm just moderating those as we roll. And they're in no particular order. And I will pick up on that in a second, Moose. But let's get to this. Players attending the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis won't have to stay in a bubble as originally ordered after organizers loosened rules Monday night after getting blowback for strict COVID-19 rules issued over the weekend. In a memo sent to all invitees and obtained by the Associated Press, the National Invitational Combine said we encourage all players to remain within the secure combine areas at all times for your safety, unquote. I haven't delved any more into it than that. I mean, I was going to go look up the whole article, but I forgot. But I saw something along the line of these young prospects who are going to participate in the combine. It's been 2 years of protocols, and they just said, enough. And they got away with it. That's the amazing thing. Did I read that right? Or?
Well, there was a big threat that the combine wouldn't happen, that the players wouldn't want to go and be a part of it. And you know what? At the end of the day, you know, the NFL is going to do whatever it needs to do to make sure that the games happen and these big events happen. The combine is one of the biggest events on their calendar in the year.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes to get this happening, the NFL will do, whether that's making sure that the players are happy and there's not as many restrictions, more of an encouragement. I mean, what do they do in the playoffs, right? They drop the mandatory testing. so that they would have less positive cases and lower the risk of any disruption to the NFL playoffs. So same thing with the combine here. I think the combine then affects the draft, and you can't have anything interrupt the flow of business in the National Football League. So that's where they're at. If you don't have a combine, then they're going to say, well, we got to now work out all these players individually, which means we got to push the draft back. And if we got to push the draft back, then OTAs get pushed back, and then it becomes a mess. The NFL's not interested in that.
No, and by the way, I'm just following it as it goes. The draft's going to come off. This is kind of the time of year where the NFL loses me. We discussed it last week. The draft talk, I'm just not that interested in it. I prefer the Hall of Fame debates, obviously. But even that's getting old. What I dare bring up is Michael Riley slam dunk for the CFL Hall of Fame, or do we have to think about this? And I get drawn and quartered. I'm like, I'm not sure I even want to talk about that anymore. Jennifer from the Four Seasons writes in and says, the Pats played last night. That's right, Jen. We covered it. Wiki. Coffee starts at 11. Talked about it. Connor Bedard had a goal and a helper. Darren Workman in Salt Lake City says, spring football wars are heating up. The USFL has a $150 million commitment from Fox Sports, and the XFL is collaborating with the NFL. Sorry, CFL. Hey, Darren, wiki. We covered it already.
How about that?
Hey, yeah. Let's stick to you and me before we get to the NBA and the Olympics wrap, because I have some thoughts on not the NBA, but the Olympics. What was the Aaron Rodgers thing? Because Aaron Rodgers lost me last year, because I was watching ESPN at this time last year all day, every day, and all it was Aaron Rodgers, and I got sick of Aaron Rodgers. And now we're going to go through this again? I don't want to. There's other things to talk about.
The Aaron Rodgers intrigue just dates back to how good he is first, and how much of a figure he is, just polarizing in the National Football League. Where Aaron Rodgers goes, success follows. So we're very curious as to, is he going to play in Green Bay next year? Because he played, Green Bay finished in first place. Not a ton of weapons around him. I mean, he had some, obviously. Devontae Adams, one of the best, if not the best receiver in the game. So he puts out a heartfelt message thanking his ex-fiancée, who they just recently split. He thanked all the quarterbacks in the room, tagging Jordan Love in the photo as well. He thanked the fans. He thanked the organization. Everybody, his friends, his Friday crew, which included Randall Cobb. It was 6 or 7 slides of photos and whatnot that he shared, this heartfelt message. And it almost had people thinking, is this a goodbye message? Is this Aaron Rodgers saying, thank you, and now we're entering another chapter and opening up speculation as to where he might play next year? Or is this kind of him saying, I love you guys, I got you, and more of him leaning in to the Green Bay Packers? And I think that's why we're interested, because wherever he goes, you instantly have a contender for a Super Bowl.
Who's this we are interested? Do you have a mouse in your pocket? I'm not interested. Aaron Rodgers, DQ. Drama queen. Make a decision and let's get on with it. Let's go. Sorry. Tired of it. Do you have a cold, by the way? Are you feeling a little stuffed?
A little bit.
Do we need to send you for a COVID test?
Nah.
You've so far dodged COVID very well.
I've got one in my rapid test in my room that I haven't used. Maybe I got to go try it.
Don't test.
You know what I'm keep saying? My streak alive.
Exactly. That's what Trump said. I'm telling you, the guy was onto something. When you were with me, obviously, in Los Angeles. I don't want to say whom, but that big sports person said, isn't it amazing? The NFL had no stars test positive for COVID. None in the whole playoffs. Wow, are they ever lucky? You know what I mean?
Stop testing. Stop getting
whatever they did. Yeah, I don't know what they did, but it worked. To the NBA, quickly. Steph Curry got another three-point record, and LeBron got another All-Star win. Not a bad night in Ohio for the two All-Stars from Akron. Steph Curry turned boos to ooze and ahs with the greatest long-distance shooting performance in All-Star game history. And then LeBron made a turnaround jumper that gave his team a 163-160 victory over Team Durant on Sunday night. Steph Curry made 16 three-pointers and scored 50 points, 2 off Anthony Davis's record. You saw our photo album earlier of what we did this weekend. I was not spending it indoors watching any All-Star Game festivities. I see in the comment section that a lot of folks did, and bully for you. But the one thing that I've realized about Calgary, and I said to Darren when we were driving around, I did go to college here. I did have spent a lot of time here over the years with teams as the road team. I never appreciated the mountains to the degree that I do now. I haven't appreciated all the things there are to do around here until I do now. So if I'm going to sit at home and watch television, it better be damn good.
Yeah.
Not just something that I'm surfing. And the NBA just doesn't qualify in the damn good for me. However, having said that, oh, Jeff the Stamps fan says, stuffy nose, welcome to the dry air of Calgary. I noticed that the last time we were here a month ago, my skin was so dry and itchy that it was almost unbearable. And then it kind of hit me over the weekend. I'm like, I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to be mind over matter. I'm not going to allow myself to be bothered by it. But I do remember, I don't know how Albertans deal with it other than I guess they just toughen up and get used to it.
I could use some pointers if you got any tips, but yeah.
Okay. You guys can continue to comment, but we're going to roll on because this is the last opportunity that we'll take to talk about the Olympics. And I have a lot of thoughts on that, but not important enough to turn it into a commentary or a column or anything like that. But all I keep hearing is that the Olympics, people don't care anymore. But I've been hearing that for the last 3-4 Olympics, and they keep holding them. And I think there's a lot of reasons why. I just got an email today, shockingly, from the CBC. 7 out of 10 Canadians watched at least some part of the Olympics. That would include us. Some of the people that I spoke with around here at the Grey Eagle this morning would be in the 3 out of 10 that did not. I'm not going to name them. They probably don't want to. But I've had, enough downtime that I watched the Olympics. I watched the hockey, obviously, because I'm interested in it. But I guess my point is when I was a child, I binge watched summer, and I'm not talking 7, 8, 9 years old. I would sit and watch the biathlon all day, the bobsleigh all day. I would watch anything all day. And what I've realized, I think, is the world's changed since I was a child. There's a lot of other things to do. The time change didn't help, but it never does. You don't know whether it's live or whether it's taped. I didn't know who these athletes were. Some have said that the networks have failed in doing a good job of storytelling. And to be honest with you, when I was in the States leading up to the Olympics, NBC did an unbelievable job of profiling the athletes.
Yeah.
And Mike Tirico, for one. I can't remember the girl's name. Chevrier, whose dad died, and she blew up on the course, right? And she got disqualified. I felt terrible for her because I knew her story.
Yeah.
I thought the Canadian networks didn't do a very good job of profiling the athletes leading up or during. Broadcasters weren't even there, and that's not their fault, I guess. That was COVID. They were home in a booth calling the games from here. I don't know. Are the Olympics losing their luster?
I think we go up and down with them. I think they'll get it back, but they are a little bit. And we're starting to see that with certain events, and we're just not quite the same, right? I mean, you look at the bobsleigh, which was incredibly exciting. I watched the final run where that Canadian group was able to capture a medal. But kids are not tobogganing, and sledding like they used to. So watching the giant sledding competition isn't as exciting for the kids, right? I think there's still events, I think, that are exciting and fun, but it's losing its luster a little bit. And, for Canada, I think we had a bit of a disappointing games, even though it was our 3rd or 4th highest medal total ever. 4 gold medals is the worst we've had since 94, right? So, It just seemed like we weren't doing that well in terms of world winning, finishing first. And I think it kind of didn't give us the same kind of excitement. And it wasn't on during the day. It was on in the morning, early morning,
that's what I'm saying,
and late at night.
Not prime time, really.
Right.
So, let this be a lesson. Sports, as always, is a microcosm of life. So we didn't get too far into the Olympics, and we're hearing about doping scandals and judging scandals. So countries cheating to win, cheating to get ahead. That's just life. Everybody is to get ahead, cutting corners. Right? And the other thing is, the Olympics, quite frankly, is no different now than 1988. What's different?
Been doing that forever.
Right. So the world's changed. The Olympics have not. And that's a bit of my pet peeve, of course, with the CFL and not just them, but certain other leagues. Have you adapted? Have you changed with the times? Because the world has changed, and they haven't really. And it's very frustrating to me. But again, they don't ask. So that's fine. Moose, I'm going to let you go. See you back here for hour 2. Should be fantastic. Trying to remember when I'm going to see you. Overtime, I guess. Because Arash Madani's coming up. And the voice of the Calgary Stampeders, Mark Steven. Mark Steven. We're going to delve into all CFL topics, not just Stamps topics in hour 2. Hey, just want to tell you that Tough Tribe for Men was designed to meet the unique demands of clean, professional grooming. The warm scent of a gentleman's shampoo teams up with an invigorating, cool peppermint conditioner. Top that off with a little beard and hair pomade to start your day feeling fresh and confident. Available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4, toughtribeformen.com. And Amazon Canada. If you like the hair of the people on the RPShow, thank Tough Tribe for Men. We'll be back to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino right after this. You're watching on Game Plus Television today, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
11 throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. you will use one of the most overused expressions in sports? You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Beautiful Tuesday as we crack the lid on a shortened week. It's episode number 701 of your favorite daytime sports talk show coming your way from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. And speaking of Calgary, can we bring in our next guest? If you don't mind, Arash Madani from Rodgers Sportsnet. I'm going to tell you that your name was floating around the Saddledome press box. Ryan Varty and I spending a lot of time together over the past few weeks. Here, old Score alum. Hey, said to say hey.
Varty's one of the all-timers, dude. I mean, he and I worked together for a full Flame season, and one of my all-time faves. What a great dude.
Really, really good guy. He was showing me all his photos from Super Bowl down there, covering it for TSN. Hey,
he had a good scam, though, Roddy. Varty had a great scam because he did the NFC Championship in L.A., spent a week down there on vacation, and then did the Super Bowl. So he got a little play in there with some work, too.
He told me all about that and showed me the photos, absolutely. And we can come back around to the NFL stuff and Super Bowl because I'd like to do that. But I would really like to get your take on the Olympics. You're seeing the scorn and ridicule online that the Olympics have lost their luster. CBC says 70% of Canadians tuned in at some point. Where are you on these recently passed games, and do they need a sprucing up, or what? How'd you feel about it?
Well, if you think about it, it's now been 3 straight Olympics where the time zone has been in Asia. It was Pyeongchang and then Tokyo and now Beijing. And I think there are a lot of people who had some disdain going into this thing over the political aspect of China and what's happening over there. And so that kind of took away some of the attention. And there was no real lead up to the Olympics, though the qualifiers were canceled because of COVID. But Roddy, when you have 3 Olympic Games in a row happening on the other side of the world when the time zone is effectively flipped, that's not going to grow your North American audience. And I think, like, if you look at all the reasons why the attention and the numbers have been down, I would put just what the last little bit in the world has been like as a reason for it, but also just because of 3 consecutive games over there.
I spent a lot of time watching it, and I'm sure you did too. What were your takeaways from Beijing?
A few. One, the ageless Charles Hamelin, 37 years old, 6th Olympic medal, leaves atop the medal podium. It's just amazing. And he and Marie-Philippe Poulin, the last links to Vancouver 2010, which is when so many of us kind of got into this thing. Poulin remains amazing, doesn't she, Roddy? What is the stat? In the last 10 goals scored in a gold medal game for Canada, Marie-Philippe has scored 7 of them, taking clutch to another dimension. But also, look, the whole Russian doping mess continues to carry a black cloud over the Olympic Games, over the IOC, over this whole movement. And until that's sorted, it's going to be the same BS with Russia moving forward.
And that does not help the profile of the Olympics for sure. But what was the reaction to your tweet immediately after Canada lost out in the quarterfinal of men's hockey? You said, well, we're a women's hockey nation. How did that go over?
That settles it, tongue-in-cheek, but kind of, right. Yeah, well, the Olympics, yeah. The usual suspects were up in arms over it, and some realized for what it was. But let's be real here, Rod. 2010, 2014, and now 2022, gold, gold, gold. And in the middle of that, 1 silver medal when the Americans knocked off the Canadians in Pyeongchang. There's a pattern here, a pattern that isn't there on the men's side. And I get the NHLers haven't always showed up, but the medals speak for themselves, don't they?
Absolutely. I think this is one of the few chances that you get to talk about the Canadian Football League. what your thoughts on where that league is right now as it enters its doldrum stage, and also the NFL XFL agreement that was announced over the weekend. People say the CFL missed the boat on that, and I say they never wanted to do anything like this. So in the world of pro football right now and what's coming out of the weekend, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think what the real takeaway here is that the CFL needs to find a way to continue to be in the conversation, in the sports conversation in this country in the off season, much more and much better than it is now and it's ever done. It felt like, Rod, for a few years, they were almost intentionally trying to stay quiet and trying to stay off the radar. And what are the steps forward that the league is taking just to be on anybody's radar, on the consciousness of a sports fan, to be talking about it? There's a little bit of a blip in free agency when those within CFL circles get excited about things. What was the biggest move in free agency? Was it Masoli to Ottawa? I guess. Does that really move the needle? So what I haven't seen from any regime is a way to, like NFL free agency and the NFL calendar, the number one story right now, south of the border in sports, is not the Major League Baseball lockout. It's certainly not the NHL. A little bit of the NBA All-Star aftermath with Steph and LeBron, but it's where is Aaron Rodgers going? And that's the first domino that's going to lead to the next series of dominoes with Russell Wilson. And what could this mean maybe for Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee? And what about Carson Wentz and his landing spot, et cetera, et cetera? What the CFL continues to fail at is to have any kind of relevance outside of maybe a few days from December to May. And being off the grid for half the year is a major mistake.
Yeah, the NFL loves drama and fake news. The CFL loathes drama and fake news. And I think that is a big problem for them. I look at the banner over your shoulder of the Minnesota Vikings. I thought of you when they hired an analytics expert as their new general manager. How are we on that move?
I mean, wait to find out. I keep hearing collaboration all over the place. And I just wonder who's in charge here, because I thought that the new GM wanted Jim Harbaugh to be the coach, but maybe he didn't get his wish, or maybe Kevin O'Connell is going to come in and be the guy. We're noticing, Rod, it's now a real pattern, isn't it? That more than ever, if you're under the age of 40, you have a better chance of becoming an NFL head coach than ever before. And that if you went to Princeton and were an economics major, you have just as good a chance at becoming a general manager in the National Football League as if you rolled up the sleeves and, went through the scouting side of, things. So it's really interesting to watch how this whole thing is starting to evolve. Sashi Brown, went from football to the Washington Wizards, had his cup of coffee in baseball, now is getting back with the Baltimore Ravens. How the resume required to become the head of a football operation is so different now in the NFL than we've ever seen in our lifetime.
No doubt. I love the score mic flash over your shoulder there, by the way. I just noticed it. I have one buried somewhere. I'd like to know where it is. And by the way, in 60 seconds or less, is this not the quietest Major League Baseball lockout of all time? I guess, talk about being a tree falling in the forest. This has got to be about day 81 of the lockout, Arash, that nobody knows they're in.
They're idiotic. They're so stupid. I don't know how else to put this, Rod. I mean, here you are as a business, your viewership is down, your ratings are down, the attention on your business is down, the metrics are down, and what do? A lockout? You're preventing people from wanting to be invested into your game and into your sport, and who under the age of 20 is fully invested in baseball, and you're going to remove yourself from any kind of conversation late February where, there should be some excitement with spring training? I mean, presumably this thing's going to get solved and quick, when they realize there's a lot of money to be lost at the start of a season. But golly, this is as bad as it gets and short-sighted as it gets with what the owners are doing right now.
Just terrible for the sport, because spring training should be underway with pitchers and catchers. Arash, this has been great. You're looking splendiferous, my man. Outstanding. Thanks for this, and keep up the great work,
man. It's been a hot minute since we run into each other. Congrats on everything you got going on over there, Roddy.
Thank you. Life is good. I appreciate it. Thanks, man, and let's do it soon.
You got it.
Sportsnet's Arash Madani checking in from the Big Smoke. On the way, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders, Mark Steven, down here at Grey Eagle. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big, and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful views of a beautiful part of the world. We're broadcasting from the gateway to the foothills, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, where, by the way, the father of redneck comedy is coming live to the event center, 75 feet to my left. Jeff Foxworthy, May 28th. Check out Grey Eagle's website for information and to purchase tickets. This is what we affectionately call viewer takeover here of the RP Show, and we only have a couple minutes for it. 4.5. That's not bad. As you know, Mark, that's an eternity in the broadcasting business. Mark Stevens here, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders. He'll be joining us next. He didn't seem at all shocked by the Bo Levi Mitchell jersey over my shoulder at all. We'll have some fun CFL discussions here next hour and talk with you, the viewers and fans. As a matter of fact, let me go to the text line, 902-518-3033, the number to hit us up right here at Grey Eagle. As I open the phone from the weekend, Daryl Paquette from Edmonton is our winner, from Sherwood Park specifically. He correctly picked the Edmonton Oilers would beat the Winnipeg Jets. That was our featured game of the weekend, Saturday afternoon, for our exclusive betting partner, BetRegal.ca. We'll be in touch with you, Daryl, and be sending out a BetRegal prize package. Bunny hug, hat, that kind of thing. Regarding the Olympics, and whether you were into them or not, Jeff Caldwell is watching in Salem, Oregon. And he says, I watched more Winter Olympics than I have in 20 years, which isn't much. Being recently retired has a lot to do with that. And Jeff in Oregon also says, the RP Show has single-handedly raised the needle on my interest of the CFL. Well, I'm excited for it, and it's only February. There's a lot to get to with Mark in terms of, just a lot to get to with Mark. There's a lot of topic. Jim Wagner watching in Balgony regarding what's going on in the NFL. He says, you've said it before, Rod, the golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules. NFL will do whatever they want. They just don't care what others think. No, and they keep getting bigger. I think there might be a lesson in there somewhere. Robin Wildy watching in the Gateway to the North says, have you seen the USFL jerseys? I've seen them, and I'm actually glad, Robin, that you brought that up. Another thing we'll talk with Mark about. I don't get that geeked up about uniforms. Not as much, like I'm interested. I'll look at them, but I don't race to the store and buy them unless it's something that's real sharp. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, I got the score right, just the teams were wrong. Everybody in Winnipeg picked the Jets to win on Saturday, and they didn't. John Ohm in Winnipeg says, Rod, did you find some donuts over the weekend? Of course, I always find donuts. This happened to be at Good Earth Coffee Shop in Canmore. 1 minute remaining in hour one. Dan in Winnipeg is watching. He says, Habs have won 3 in a row under head coach Martin St. Louis. What's going on with the Winnipeg Jets? Big win for the Habs last night against the Leafs. Here's one thing that I meant to say earlier on. Kyle Connor is a floater. Sorry. I noticed it yesterday watching him live. Yeah, hot take. I meant to say it earlier. I'm saying it now. Kyle Connor should play with the Sharks because he floats. And I'll be on Winnipeg Sports Talk this afternoon with Hustler, by the way, and we'll talk about that. The Winnipeg Jets either just aren't good enough, which they're just not good enough, and they don't play inspired anymore. We have more comments coming in from the viewers. We'll kick them all around with Mark Stevens, the voice of the Stampede. The longest-serving voice in the CFL, right, Mark? After this.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Edmonton, you get ready for the Chris Jones Show. Like the 114 players that set a CFL record when he was with the Rough Riders in 2016, that might be light compared to what Jones does. Edmonton thinks they knew what they had with Chris Jones the last time he was there. And it was a Grey Cup in 2015. Yeah. But he didn't have the keys to the castle. Ed Hervey had the keys to the castle. Ed Hervey had to let Chris Jones into the castle.
Right.
And now Jones has the keys to the castle.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. We are coming in hot, hour 2. Proudly broadcasting from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Hour 2 is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer, and you're going to have a lot of fun. We're all going to have a lot of fun this hour as Mark Stephen joins us, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders from CHQR, AM 77 Calgary. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Good to be here. Good to be indoors today. It's a little on the raw side here in Calgary.
One of the coldest days of the winter. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
By the way, Mark, you worked in Saskatchewan for what years?
A384.
So you were alive when Telemiracle was just getting rolling.
Yep.
Remember, right around that?
Yep.
And we got to mention that telemiracle.com, the draw date is fast approaching March 2nd for the online 50-50 raffle. This is just another way of raising money. COVID has for everybody, including the Kinsman Foundation. You see the pot, Darren, it's almost 100,000. What a weekend we had. $40,000 in tickets sold over the weekend, but we got a long ways to go to the goal of $726,000. You know that the Kinsman Foundation is helping people every day improve their quality of life through the gift of mobility equipment, travel assistance. We're just asking you to open your wallets, please, and purchase tickets on the 50-50. It's not that hard to do. Telemiracle.com. You just have to be 19 years of age and over and physically in the province of Saskatchewan, and we thank you for helping out the Kinsman Foundation, help out the people of the wonderful province of Saskatchewan. So, Mark, here we go. Obviously, people, pull that mic right up. You know how to work one of those things, right?
Don't know how sensitive it is.
How
sensitive I am.
You got the great voice. I don't know how sensitive you are.
Okay, there you go.
Before we talk football, because everybody's waiting the football talk, the Flames are not only the talk of Calgary nor Alberta, the entire National Hockey League as the winners of 10 in a row.
Good. As we sit here right now, I would say they're the best team in the league. This minute.
The way they're going.
Later on, I don't know. But today, right now, I would call them the best team in the league. The way they've been rolling through the schedule, a 7-game homestand where they not only won, but won big. And, will that carry on? I don't know, but might as well enjoy the view from the top because that's where they are right now as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Seattle was in here Saturday night and really made them work for that win, but they got it. Yeah. And then the Winnipeg Jets yesterday, it was 1-1 into the final minute. Were you thinking that streak might end Monday?
A bit. I mean, they can't be perfect. They're very good, but they're not perfect. But, they're just a vibe about them that they feel comfortable and confident, that they won't be beaten. That's a lot to do with Daryl Sutter's belief that he's instilled in the team. Number two, to Winnipeg, I look at that team. Is this as good as it gets for them, too? I wonder if they've kind of hit the ceiling and they're going to have some big decisions. But that's their problem. Flames are playing really well right now, and they're right on top of the league.
But you're cautioning the fans to pump the brakes.
Here's the only thing. Enjoy this while you've got it. And it may change, but the Flames, and a lot of these guys were here for a lot of these issues, have an awful playoff record. It's since winning the Stanley Cup in 1989, decades ago, they've been out of the first round twice. Once was with Daryl Sutter. Let's not forget that, 2004. And in 2015, they beat Vancouver. Good for them. I mean, let's salute it. But, getting out of the first round isn't, 7 other teams get out of the first round too, so it's not the biggest challenge on earth. The point is, they do not have a good playoff history. Some of the people here were involved with that. That may change, so I don't want to be the bad guy, but I also think that we should wait till the playoffs arrive before starting to book dates off in June to watch the Stanley Cup Finals.
Which they are, and I actually heard this comment the other day. Somebody said, when Gary Bettman's handing out the Stanley Cup to the Flames, who's he going to give it to? Because they don't have a captain.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
You can't look that far down the road, guys.
No, but they are very good. Enjoy it while you've got it. A chance to set a franchise record when they play the Canucks on Thursday and carry on. They do have a great belief. Their top line is probably as good as anybody's in the league right now. I don't think there's anyone better. So they've got a lot going for them. I think Daryl Sutter is a strong candidate for the Adams as the coach of the year. Johnny Gaudreau is a Hart Trophy candidate. Don't know if he's going to win it, but I think he's right there. And Markstrom for the Vezina. That's firepower right there.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, there is a sense there's something special about this team. Yep. You feel that, don't you?
I do too. And, when they made that Toffoli trade was a good trade. I think that addressed some of the needs on the team. Number 3, I think they're going to need a depth defenseman or two. Their top 6 is good, but it's once you get past that, there isn't much there. So in terms of NHL experience and playoff poise. So they've got a few holes, but it's still a very good roster. And certainly I just believe it's Daryl Sutter talking to them and having them believe and instilling a belief in them. I mean, his comments after yesterday's win, he said, well, it's great. We won 10 in a row. It'll be more meaningful if it's 10 in a row in the playoffs.
I saw one of the reporters ask him about the cushion atop the Pacific. Did you see his answer to that?
Yeah.
The only cushion is on my couch.
Yeah. No, he'll keep it down, and he's done a tremendous job. It's virtually a year ago, almost to the day that he was rehired. So it's a very popular move, and he's delivered.
I'd like to see their record since that. I'd like to see their record since they got spanked in Florida, which I was at that game in early December. That really was a lesson that Daryl said they needed that night, and they've barely lost since. By the way, tonight in the NHL, it is St. Louis at Philadelphia, Leafs at Columbus. It's only 6 games. Minnesota at Ottawa, Nashville at Florida, San Jose at Anaheim, and the Islanders at Seattle. While I have you, and we do have Mark for an extended period, I thank you for that. Mm-hmm. We should talk about a couple other teams, most notably the Oilers. I mean, you know that I went to college here. I've spent a lot of time in this town. There's a lot of people that feel as long as we finish ahead of Edmonton, we're good. Your take on the Oilers and what's happening up there.
How come they can't get it together? Through coach after coach. I mean, when you've got 2 of the best players in the league as your anchors, they just can't get it together. And it carries on and on and on. I don't get it. I don't care about it one way or the other particularly. But, I would like to think the bar, and I think Daryl's raised a little higher than being ahead of the Oilers. I think he has a higher expectation. But I'm just floored at how they constantly just stub their toes and are constantly in rebuild and scramble mode despite having 2 elite building blocks, which should be enough to carry you well into the playoffs. They can't even make the playoffs. Don't know if they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, I don't know if you saw SportsCenter last night or not, but Craig Button snapped and you're obviously know Craig well, on the orders. He's like, I don't get it. Why aren't you getting a goalie? And I'm not sure it was Mike Johnson or somebody said, well, there's the guys that are out there aren't worth the price. The asking price is high. And if I was an Oiler fan or an Oiler player, I'd be very upset going, are we not worth it? Pay the price.
Yep. Well, yeah, you got to do something. You can't just see we're in rebuild, we're going to do this. They've had a decade of nothing.
Yeah.
More than a decade of nothing. So, yes, it's going to be costly. Yes, it might cost them a first-round pick. But, those fans deserve something. I'll give them credit for their loyal fan base because they haven't been rewarded.
Just and a comment on the Jets. Bob Jericho watching, he says the Jets are still a very good team. There's a lot of comments on the Jets. They are a good team. There's talent there, but I saw a team that was lifeless almost yesterday. They don't play like they were playing a couple years ago.
Yesterday was a little bit of a chess match between Darryl Sutter and his protege, Dave Lauer. Each knew what the other was doing, so it wasn't the most compelling game. I get it. But just stepping back, big picture, this is as good as it gets for the Jets. They're not awful. They're not, battling with Arizona for the first overall pick or Montreal, but they're just not good enough. This is as good as it gets. They've maxed out with this group as far as I'm concerned.
The window's closed.
Yep.
Another way of saying it.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Just they're going to have to go through quite a retooling as I see it in the offseason. They went to the conference finals. It's now a few years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And, that was good, but they haven't got back to that level. They've reached. This is as good as it gets, and not good enough.
Hour 2 of the RP Show on Game Plus Television and live streaming, brought to you by Great Western Brewing Company. Extra smooth, extra refreshing. Find Original 16 at a store near you today, all across the prairies. I know everybody's just waiting with bated breath for your football take, but I'm just curious, Mark, on your Arizona arena opinion. You must have one on them moving into a 5,000-seat arena at Tempe.
Isn't that embarrassing?
It's not great.
I know it's a short-term fix, and hopefully you'll get a big stadium, but wow, what a circus that franchise has been forever and a day. People say, I guess the one thing I'll give them credit, people say it's a bad hockey market. I'll flip it the other way. Have they really had anything to rally around? No. They've had a series of mediocre to awful teams, except for that one year when they went to the conference finals. So I'd like to see them have a sustained team, but it seems they're from one ownership group to another, chaos to crisis. I mean, Gary Bettman, for whatever reason, has stuck with that franchise and puts his support. He was quick to abandon Quebec, Winnipeg, Hartford, Atlanta, on a moment's notice. But
why is that? Why is he so married to Arizona?
I guess just because it's a big television market. It's one of the top in the. Hartford is not a big television market. Winnipeg and Quebec ratings don't count. You can't sell in the United States circles. So I guess that's it. But boy, it's got to be frustrating though when you see Atlanta's lost not one but two teams to Western Canadian cities, and I don't know, it's just weird. But I got to give him credit. They should give him a standing ovation. What fans remain in Arizona anytime he appears there because he's got their back.
My take is the Arizona has not failed the NHL. The NHL has failed Arizona. Yeah. And I've sat with people in the crowd, born and raised Phoenix people, that say if you gave us a team to cheer for, we'd fill this place.
The current stadium where they are, Glendale, is a mess. I'll just give you a real-life example. We were there on holidays now 2 years ago. By coincidence, the Flames were there, so I was excited to see them.
Good crowd?
No.
Okay.
They're all still stuck with the traffic jam. Still. I think so. It's 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, when we left at 5:30, we were on holidays, so we had nothing to, stop us. We left at 5:30, 7 o'clock game. Hey, we'll get there, watch the last minute of warm-ups. Walked into the arena. Flames goal scored by number 13, and the Flames are already up 2-0. We were stuck in such horrendous traffic coming from the east side of the city. So that's one problem. What about if you had to work or go to school? How would you get there? They don't.
I agree.
They got to find a better arena situation.
11:11 Mountain, 1:11 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity portal is opening. Your dreams are coming true. What does that mean for the Canadian Football League, Mark? What was the season like for you in 2021?
It played, which was exciting and exhilarating. That was the number one thing. It went through with an absolute minimum of disruptions. When I got to be blunt, when the Edmonton Elks picture kind of fell apart, I wondered if it was the first shoe to drop on many. It didn't, so the league got through it. There was some criticism about the play, and I think that's fair. That it wasn't maybe up to standards, but they played, and the drama and the excitement was still there. And still some great games. The games were good overall. I enjoyed it. The Grey Cup was very enjoyable. Felt awful for the people of Hamilton who were so into it, but wasn't to be. And I'm just glad it was played. I was very excited about it, and it was just good to be back at the stadium. Crowds were obviously down for a bunch of reasons. Some of them were capacity-limited stadiums. Others, people just didn't go back or feel comfortable going back. But the alternative, I know it was a tough season. I know there were financial challenges, but not playing would have been a complete disaster and maybe the end of the league.
Do you think not playing in 2020 was the right decision?
Well, I would rather
not that it matters now.
I'd rather they have played, but I think I did run into Randy Ambrosi actually in Regina for the Stampeder playoff game, and he just said he's turned into a medical doctor or getting medical advice. That's all he did. I guess there's different thoughts. Ontario and Quebec were by far the most aggressive at locking down absolutely everything. Could they have played? Could they have played in a bubble? I don't know. I wonder. So I guess I'd have to say it was a very disappointing and tough decision, but I guess the right one. Let's put it this way. Could you have guaranteed they finished what they started in 2020?
Yeah, well, by the way, we'll get into this far more deeply in the next segment about all these things. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, breaking news, Justin Dunk reporting that Chris Strebler has signed with the Miami Dolphins. That's news to me. I don't know if you saw that or not, but good for Strevy. Seems like a really great guy. Yep. I want to say this about this Alberta market before we break and come back and get deeper into the CFL. I feel like the people are just ready to bust out. There's been these restrictions. If you can, they're petting as many people in the Saddle Dome as they can. They're finally serving food and booze, and there's getting to be more and more of a carnival-like atmosphere. And Red Deer the other night, I'm at the Rebels game. Everybody's happy to be out. I think, Mark, when they do lift it up, these places are going to be packed.
March 1st.
Yeah, that's the sense that I get. You?
Totally, and I'll be right at the head of the line.
Yeah, it's been a tough go, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, people locked down. I mean, I get like all these politicians. They bring up all these hospitalization numbers, and that's important. I don't want to minimize it, but there's so many other costs associated with what's been going on and people's mental health. In some cases, they can't handle it. All the other hospital calls too. It's just not just scoreboard on ICU and case lots and in hospital. It's way deeper than that, and I think people have started to realize that.
Well, and the other thing is when it does open up March 1st, there's no shortage of things to do around here, man. Yep. I mean, especially on a sporting standpoint. I mean, I mentioned last week I was at a Roughnecks game one night, AJ game in Canmore another night, WHL in Red Deer, then here, NHL again here. And Darren went to the mountains skiing. Like, holy smokes. Not like it's a well-kept secret. Everybody knows, but what a great spot.
Yep. No, be lots going on. And when the Saddle Dome is full and they don't have to worry about rescheduling games, it's going to be the place to be. It'll be wonderful.
We do need it. What do we have here? 1 minute.
Hey.
The new arena situation. What happens first? New football stadium or hockey arena?
I think hockey arena, because the plans were so far down the line that there's been momentum built towards it. The mayor chose to derail those plans for her own agenda, but I think there's enough people that were caught off guard by that. They didn't throw the plans out, so I think there's enough momentum there. I mean, logically, the football stadium is the higher priority, but I just think if you had to pick between which is going to be constructed first, it'll be the hockey arena.
Mark on football. Mark Steven with us, and we'll get deep into the football chatter when we come back. It's hour 2 of the RP Show, brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer, live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. You're watching on Game Plus TV, which is available all across Alberta and BC on Telus Optic Cable, across Manitoba on Bell MTS Cable, and Saskatchewan on SaskTel Max. We'll be right back on Game Plus, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio, rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful Tuesday morning in the Rockies. We are in the gateway to the foothills. That is Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Just checking the text line, the 902 text line. What do we got here? Chris in Surrey, BC watching says the Calgary Canucks are looking good. From Ron Thompson in Calgary, how about those Flames? Well, we covered that obviously with Mark. They're rolling going into Vancouver on Thursday night. And Randy from the Peg says, good morning, not going to be a popular comment, but come on, women's hockey gold is the easiest to win than any other event at the Olympics by far. Women's bronze medal in soccer, Summer Olympics, more of an achievement than women's gold in Olympic hockey. Come on. I didn't ask you about the Olympics, so I should. This is a huge Olympics town, Mark.
Yep.
How did you feel about Canada's performance in the games overall?
Okay. It was okay. Not great, not bad. I really struggled to get into the Olympics. I can't lie to you, though. Just because I think the time zones and you didn't know what was live, what wasn't live, and, we were okay. So I watched some of it, but I've watched more. I've had more, the ski jumping in front of the nuclear dump that they had there, that was interesting. But
well, I don't know how you could scorn the women's hockey team for winning gold when they're supposed to win gold. They went and did their job.
Yeah.
What do you want? Get on the men's team for not. That was kind of boring, but listen.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the fact the men's team was not there, the hockey was not especially compelling.
I'm surprised to hear you say that you're not necessarily into the Olympics, given what happened here in '88, all the legacy facilities that are still here.
Yeah.
And now there's talk of maybe another.
I don't know. It was voted down for a couple of years ago. It had a plebiscite. I think, first of all, I do watch a lot. I probably watch more than the average person, but not as much as I usually do. So it's not that I wasn't into them. I've been into more, I guess. They were voted down in 2026. It was a combination of things with the people that were flogging it. And number two, there's a real mistrust with the IOC. They've got a real problem. They've got a huge problem. Like, cities aren't lining up and knocking each other down to get the games anymore. So that's a problem. Could they ever come back here? I guess so. But it would have to be on Calgary's term, not what the IOC said. They say, here's what we got. We're going to spend a little here. We're going to do this. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
If they say yes, great, bring them on. If they don't, we'll see you around. Go find your other spot.
Well, I tell you what, walking around the Saddledome yesterday in the game against the Jets on Family Day, I just thought, when this thing opened, it was the Taj Mahal. Yep. And they've kept it in great shape as far as I'm concerned. You can eat off the floors. And I'm like, this thing about the concourses being too narrow, to me, it's all a bunch of bunk. I get the concert thing with the roof. I get it, but I still like the barn.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the CFL fans, tweet it, text your friends. Mark and I are going to get into it for the rest of our time, and it's a lot of time here with Mark, Steven, and I, the voice of the Stampeders. And to open it up, Ryan H. on YouTube says, how does Mark think Edmonton will do this year with Chris Jones at the helm?
Well, first of all, that is the biggest story of the offseason.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Chris Jones returning. Well, they'll be better. Low bar to jump over, but they'll be better. Can he turn a 3-win team into whatever they had, into a 10 or 11-win team? I don't think immediately. Will they be better? Yes. Are they a playoff team? No, I don't see it right now as them being a playoff. I think there's too many steps to, jump over to become a playoff team. I don't see it, but he'll make them better. I know that for sure.
Always a tough division, though, right? Yep. I mean, BC and Edmonton they've got a lot to prove. Right.
For sure. And, BC, first of all, Edmonton signed in a $300,000 receiver. What's that all about in a salary?
Your buddy Bob Irving was all over that one.
Should be. It's too much. You can't afford it. I mean, quarterbacks make what they do, but at least they touch the ball every play. So anyway, hope it works for them. We'll see if it does. BC, they've got a decent-looking roster. They made some signings, but the two quarterbacks may be in the future good, but either ready to be a number one every down.
Are we talking Nathan Rourke and Michael O'Connor?
Yeah. I don't think that's enough experience, to be honest with you.
Major gamble there.
Yeah, that's what I see too. So those are the two teams I see on the outside looking in right now. And, will they flip-flop their order from last year? I don't know, but we'll see. And, and BC has some other issues. Let's not forget, at one time, they were 4-2 and 2 games ahead of the Stampeders. Stampeders ended up 3 games ahead of them in a 14-game season. That means somebody fell very far, very fast.
Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I know it's early, but Mark, what's your standings picks for the West Division? I wouldn't make mine now. I wouldn't. So if you want to defer.
I will.
Yeah. Okay.
Winnipeg, Calgary, Saskatchewan, BC, Edmonton.
Wow. Have you thought about this, or is this right off the top of your head? Winnipeg, Calgary, Sask.
Until somebody proves they can knock off the Blue Bombers, they go on top.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I don't have any problem with that. Stampeders had a strong second half. Did not do the job in the playoffs. I acknowledge that, but I think they're going to build on that and carry on. Saskatchewan, too many players left. I don't understand what was going on there. A lot of people left, and they'll still be good. I mean, you look at it, they played in the last 2 West finals, so they'll still be very good. And I think I articulated that BC and Edmonton just aren't quite ready to compete with the big boys yet.
Well, let's dig into that a little more, because we still got a lot of viewers in Saskatchewan, and it was interesting. I've been out here long enough talking to football people out here that they're seeing the same thing the Rider fans are, and it's, where's the signings? We're hosting the Grey Cup.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just examine that a little more if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, William Powell, I think he's a dandy. Not there. Micah Johnson's moved on. Purifoy, Gainey have moved on as well. So, that's a lot of talent that has moved on. I'm not saying they're irreplaceable or that nobody will ever take their shoes again. That's an awful lot. I hate to break it. Cody Fajardo is great, but is he an elite quarterback in the CFL? I don't know. I think he's right there, but I think Saskatchewan just lost too much in my mind.
He's being paid like he's...
Yes, well, that's up to right? The people there.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I don't want to pretend, and he does win. He wins ugly sometimes. He does win, so that can't be discounted. But, if every quarterback was put up for a draft in the league and the last place team, Winnipeg or Ottawa, could pick him, who would they pick? Would it be him? I'm not sure.
No kidding.
I'm not trying to dump on him or anything, but is he the elite championship quarterback? I don't know. I'm not prepared to say he is, but I won't write him off either.
Just to sprinkle in a few more comments from the viewers. Junior A hockey is roaring back. Tony Cernak's watching in the Energy City. He says 2,300 people for the Estevan Bruins game Saturday night. Peanut Butter Pete had to feed the crowd pizza because Runke scored 4 goals. That's a promotion they have down there in Estevan. They're packing the barn for that. So as we said, people can't wait to get out of the house. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Riders have huge holes. Riders will be building from within. See if they can do it. Bob Jericho, clearly a Winnipegger watching, he says the Riders need a quarterback as bad as anyone. I'm not happy. Oh, so he's a Rider fan, but I think he is in Winnipeg, yeah. One thing I'm hearing from the Rider fans is, Mark, this isn't time for a rebuild, right? Like they're saying goodbye to those big-name vets. But what I think I can see here is $450,000-ish to Fajardo. However they maneuver it, whatever. Close to 300 to Duke Williams, who's a very good player. You saw what he did in games.
Yep.
So there's this school of thought, building any sports team with a cap. You pay your top-end guys a lot, and you pay your low-end guys nothing. Shoot, radio stations work that way.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of stuff has happened with Saskatchewan. I'm not saying they're awful. I don't want to ask for a prediction, and that's how I see them.
No, and that's fine, but just to dig a little more into it, I wrote a column at rodpedersen.com about the top 10 storylines right now, and one of those is, for instance, first thing out of your mouth was William Powell. The guy at the top of the depth chart is a guy by the name of Jamel Morrow. He does not evoke memories of Wes Cates in 07 nor Corey Sheets in 2013.
Nope.
And there's a lot of positions where you would say that with the Rough Riders. It's not an all-star team being assembled.
No, and I think Morrow's a tremendous returner, but he's pretty small little guys, and is he ready to take the pounding? I mean, Powell is solidly built customer. He can, knock guys over. So is Kadeem Carey at the Stampeders. Can Morrow do that? Maybe he just needs a chance too. We shouldn't ignore that everybody has a first start in their career, right? So,
right, but do you want to gamble in a season like this?
No,
I don't think you do.
I don't either, because not only is there pressure. First of all, the Rough Riders, has been in 2 consecutive West Finals. They are hosting the Grey Cup, and they've got the shadow of the prior time Regina hosted the Grey Cup hanging over their head too, right?
Yeah.
So
Wayne in BC says it sounds like the comments about Darian Durant about 10 years ago. Not an elite quarterback, and then he won the Grey Cup. Right, Wayne, but until you do, people are always going to say it, right?
Yep. No, I agree.
Kevin Olenek says, what about the quarterback situation in Calgary? Mitchell or ... And before you answer that, look at this strapping lad over here. Look at this guy. To your left, Mark. To your left.
Oh, okay.
Look at that guy.
Fireman Randy, attaboy. Okay.
I didn't know you were coming down. What a nice surprise. Did I know that he was coming down?
No.
Love it. Love it. We had one half of the Chevy and Nasty show here last week, and now we have the other. Anyways, Stamps quarterbacks. I'm hearing it all the time.
Yeah, I know. There's no quarterback issue here.
Why am I hearing it?
I don't know. The only reason why you're probably hearing is because Bo Levi Mitchell's contract runs out after. That's probably why it is, and Jake Mayer is signed for 1 more year, and then we'll see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bo Levi Mitchell is the quarterback of this team. He will decide how far it goes, how much they play, how successful they are. Jake Mayer will play some. There's no doubt about that. I mean, there will be times when Bo maybe isn't as effective. There may be games that are no longer in dispute that he'll get in there. Maybe the odd series here and there. But this is Bo Levi Mitchell's team. It'll go as far as he takes it, as far as he can, and there's no quarterback on.
No, but where else would he ever play? Like, he loves it here, right? You say his contract's up, but that's paperwork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but nonetheless, it's a talking point because 2 quarterback contracts end at the same time.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see him playing anywhere else, and I do get that from time to time. People say, what are they going to do about Mayer? I don't know. Have them watch. That's what they're going to do.
Well, the thing is, I've said, despite our rivalry, which was fun, I've always said this is a tremendous CFL city, and they know their football, I think.
Yep.
So do they not understand when they sign Tommy Stevens and a young hotshot like Jake Mayer, it's competition.
Yep.
Flames do the same.
Yep.
Dylan
Dubé dropped down on the line because he wasn't doing the job. He lost the competition. So anyway.
Yes, I would think they would know that. But, one thing about Bo, before I let you go, the one thing that I heard just yesterday at the Saddle Room was that if there's a criticism of Bo, it's that he comes back from injury too early because he feels responsible that the team can't win without him. And I said, where's the fault in that?
Hey, what's wrong with that? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They also said when Jake Mayer threw for 300 yards a game, Bo got healthier very fast, too.
Well, it's a bit of a coincidence, but I know what you're saying. It was an absolutely magnificent game by Mayer, in Winnipeg, that game in August. But I will just say this, as promising as he is, he's only played 3.5 games. I mean, there's no better place on earth to learn how to be a successful quarterback than here. Just ask Bo Levi Mitchell, who had to wait for a couple of years to get his turn. So it works well. I mean, you can walk into a meeting room with MVP like Dave Dickinson, a Grey Cup winning quarterback, and John Hufnagel, who's taught and worked with some of the best. I mean, there's no better factory on earth. So I think Mayer realized that too.
Why, when they talk of the pantheon of Calgary Stampeders quarterbacks, do I hear the names Jeff Garcia, Doug Flutie, Dave Dickinson, Bo Levi, and I do not hear the name Henry Burke?
Yeah, it's a bit surprising, isn't it? I guess, he all he did is win a Grey Cup.
And he's loved. He's loved, right? He's loved.
And, and won an MOP. All I can say is, I'm not exactly sure why, when you rank the top Stampeders ever, top 10, certainly Henry, if he's not in the top 10, is very, very close to it. Bo is breaking all of Henry's records, or about to break. So
it's fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. So, and he'll be back. He's a very bright guy. And, if he takes too much responsibility, I mean, he's had his contract restructured a couple of times to ensure they can sign and keep players. That's the act of somebody that's thinking big picture.
And last one from our viewer, Nelson Hackowicz, he says, as two radio guys, who are your front runners for the Saskatchewan and Winnipeg play-by-play jobs? I'll probably defer on that one because I have no idea. Do you want to take a swing at it since he asked?
No.
No,
I'm not going to speak for CKRM,
no.
Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Or the Bombers.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's lots of talk out there, but it's not really my call to make. But I will say this. Whoever gets those will have the second and third best jobs in the league. So.
There you go. Mark, can we do this again?
Yeah. I'm 10 minutes away down the road.
Love it. Perfect.
Hopefully I won't have to shovel all the snow off to get here, but if I do, so be it.
Always fun. Thanks, Mark.
Good. Okay, thank you.
So we're going to move Chevy in next. Is that the deal? I love it. All right. It is the RP Show. Randy Chevrier's surprise appearance joining us down here at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino dancing.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
We did a football
live back at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. A shot of the slopes. Very busy this week with the kids out of school here in the Rocky Mountains and all across the land. We are Calgary's entertainment destination here at Grey Eagle. Again, the father of redneck comedy, Jeff Foxworthy, coming up May 28th. Also, Foreigner, the Beach Boys, all this spring. Check out Grey Eagle's website for details and to purchase your tickets. So, no, it's a surprise only to me. Randy Chevrier is here. Listen, this guy's got one hell of a resume. We only got, it's a 2-hour show, Chevy, so I can't really get through all your teams.
You don't have to.
No, I'm joking. Jaguars, Bengals, Cowboys, America's team, Eskimos, New York Jets, Calgary Stampeders, Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the Stampeders again, and now representing Calgary Fire Department. Quite a resume, star-studded guy. How you doing, Chevy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool that you guys are here in Calgary.
I love it. I'm having so much fun. You look like $1 million. I want to say life after football is great, but are you ever really done football? Seems like you're not.
Yeah, you know what? If the bat phone rings, we'll see like it did this year. But I did have a pretty interesting opportunity in the fall there, and obviously it was the result of some very, I guess, precarious circumstances that we're going through in society right now that allowed for that opportunity to return with the Stamps. But I'm hoping that by next fall this is all behind and they can do things the way they plan to do it and play the games the way they wish they could and bring in personnel the way they wish they could.
Chevy is of French and Italian descent. Have I had that right?
Yeah.
Out of Montreal.
That's right.
Played at McGill, and then, like I say, has bounced all around the NFL and the CFL. And you mentioned what happened this fall. When I saw that you'd signed with the Stampeders in the run, I was like, good for Chevy. But I didn't know the story. Tell me the story behind how that happened.
Oh, it's a long one, but
make it quick.
Make it quick. So I guess since I had retired after my little stint with the Riders there, which was fantastic.
Now, I'm going to get to that. Trust me, I'm going to get to that.
That was fantastic. I always said, you know what? My buddy Roger Reinson, who played for the Stamps, he had been retired.
Melville product.
Yeah, he was retired for a year, waiting to get onto CPS, and he got a call by the Edmonton Eskimos at the time in 2005. And he basically went off his couch and played the Western Final and won a Grey Cup. And I told everyone, until I'm 50, I got one of those Rodgers in me. I can't play a full season, but I got a Roger in me. And, as a firefighter, I keep in great shape. I always have that in the back of my mind as some extra motivation to get in the gym when maybe I don't feel like it. And, when COVID hit, I saw the kind of the crystal ball that maybe this might be the year that a call would come. And I told some people, I verbalized, I said, you know what, this is going to be the year because, they got to quarantine guys, bringing them into cities. There's not a long list of guys that can snap a football if they need it in a big game. So I thought, maybe this year will happen. And lo and behold, in the fall, it actually started with an opportunity with the Alouettes. They were down a few guys. They're on the street guy, as we call it. They're, number one guy on the depth chart that's on the street. He winds up signing with Edmonton, and that was Martin Bedard. So they had no one. So I gave Machocha up a call. Danny Machocha was my old midget coach and coach in Edmonton.
Wow.
And I said, hey, who's your emergency guy in the playoffs if you need? And he calls me back. He's like, I need a guy now. He's like, the guy we have is not getting the job done. My best special teams guy is actually snapping, but we can't play him on special teams. We're basically down a roster spot. He's like, if you can come. So what wound up happening is long back and forth, talking with my chiefs. It was all set to go. But I couldn't go because of a union issue, insurance. I couldn't get WCB coverage working. My job.
You've never been stupid. You're not going to go out there and expose yourself financially.
Well, and I didn't want to. My number one team right now is the Calgary Fire Department.
Yeah.
And I was not going to take a leave from my number one team for a selfish pursuit. And I told my chiefs that. I said, if I can arrange it with work, and I'm working community safety now. And for the last year, I've been working from home. So I've been working remotely. So I thought maybe we could do it like I did when I was with the Riders. I was flying in and out. But because of WCB and then all my insurance is being invalidated because they didn't cover us working outside of Alberta, it didn't work.
And they've been good to you.
You know what? So. Yeah. So when the Stampeders opportunity came up, it just worked out because I was working from home. I worked it out with the fire department to flex my schedule and work an hour earlier in the morning and an hour later in the afternoon. Was able to make it for practice, and it was really neat. It was 1 week on the practice squad. I'm like the oldest practice squad player in all of North America at the time, but it was fun. It was fun to get back in there.
COVID situation.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Stuff happens. Well, you got 4 more years, Chevy, 5 till you hit 50, so it could still happen.
You never know.
But you and I talked for the years that you're with the Stampeders. We're like, man, it would be fun if we were ever on the same team, and it happened in 2016, but it wasn't for as long as I would have liked. But people need to know something about Chris Jones. If you're in with Jones, you're in. If you're out, you're out. But Jonesy looked after you, right?
Well, yeah.
And tell the folks about your time with the Riders.
You know what? It was super interesting because I had a full-time job. So the only way I could help them out is if they allowed me to fly in and out, which is what I did. So I wasn't there for very long, even with the shortened 3-game schedule I was there for. And I never knew what Coach Jones' opinion was of me, to be frank, because when we were in Calgary, I was a defensive lineman. He came in, I never played defensive line again. So I thought I was out with Coach Jones, and then But
you were snapping. Right?
I was snapping, but then I got moved to the O-line. So I never thought, I thought I wasn't a Jones guy, and maybe I wasn't, right? So I get to Saskatchewan, and that year they were pretty terrible, and that was the chicken squad year and all that stuff.
Squad year, yes.
I knew Craig Dickinson very well. And, we sat down for a few meetings and stuff. And, we just talked about the team. And I was just happy to be there. I am fully aware that it was only 3 games on a losing team. But I always have the perspective that the ability to suit up for a pro team, even if it was practice squad or whatever, it's such a fortunate position to be in that every guy would have traded that with me, and I see that. So I was very grateful for my opportunity. And Craig and I at the time, he was special teams coach. We were talking about the team, how young they were, and I had some observations, and he said, well, why don't you tell the coach? I said, well, I'm not going to tell him. And then one day I was walking on the field, and Jones was passing by, and we were cool. He actually treated me so well. He said, what do you think about the team? And that's when the little alarm bells went off in my head. It's like, should I say something or not? And I said,
dangerous question.
Yeah. And I said, you know what, Coach? I said, you want my real opinion? He's like, yeah. I said, well, you're a young team. I said, and a good team, but I think everyone's scared. I said, there's way too many guys here. I said, everyone acts like they're confident, but you got the vets scared that the young guys are going to come and swoop in the minute they make one mistake. The young guys are scared that you're going to just replace them with any guy that's, right on the street. I said, for years as a professional athlete, I operated on the premise that I'm here and you have guys looking for talent to replace me. No doubt that people are there to replace me. But when those replacements are just waiting in the wings, right away that you could replace
It's unnerving.
them. It's unnerving. And everybody, there's that performance meter, right? Performance anxiety meter. And when you're at that high level of anxiety, you don't perform well. And there's a range, right? And I think the guys that year were just operating out of that range, young guys and vets. And he looked at me and he says, you really think so? And I said, yep.
How could you not know? Right.
And then we walked past each other. And as I was walking, I was like, oh, that might have been the biggest mistake of my life, right? And then lo and behold, the last game of the season there, I had to fly back home after BC Lions game. And he before the game, he came up to me, and it was the week that we had that talk. He asked me to be the captain for the team on the coin toss. And I had never been a captain for a team of coin toss in all my years, not even in Calgary. And that was a big honor for me. And when the game ended, I was packing my stuff, and I was taking a flight back to Calgary while the team was going back to Saskatchewan. And the coin toss from the game was there on my shelf from him, and that was pretty cool.
From Jones.
Yep.
And you still got it displayed at home.
It's it's a good little memento.
Kind of guy that Chris Jones is. You got another segment in you? Can you stick with me?
Absolutely. Love to talk about what we got going on tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Chevy will be with us after this break for overtime. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino fancy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It is overtime, proudly presented by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the National Hockey League. Just some comments from our viewers. Dom is watching. He says, I'm from Edmonton, and I love the Saddle Dome. Rexall Place is bland on the concourse, and it's narrow at times. Yes, but they are in the new Rodgers Place, let's not forget. Jack Fulton in Vulcan, Alberta says, Mark is top shelf and does an outstanding job of keeping Stamps fans in the loop. Appreciate you, Mark. And I'm sure this came in a while back. If he probably has a comment about you too, Chevy. You know Jack Fulton, obviously.
Jack's a great guy.
Before we talk about what you said you got going on tomorrow, you've lived in this town a long time, Chevy. Do you recall excitement about the Flames to this degree ever in your time?
No, I got here after the run in, was it 04?
Yeah.
So there's been little blips of excitement, but not like this. I mean, even I'm excited for them. And I wasn't born a Flames fan. I'm a Habs fan. You grew up in Montreal. It's kind of like the same like the Rider fan. You can kind of look away, but it's always there. But I'm excited. It's a young, exciting team. There's so many interesting dynamics with that team. Just Sutter back and all the young guys. Last year, this time, everyone was giving up on Johnny, and now everyone just, they
love him.
And they pulled off the trade of the century as far as I'm concerned. Hart Toffoli, I watched him closely last year when he was with the Habs, and God, he was amazing. And it's addition without giving up anything. Amazing.
Yes. Well, yeah, nothing off their roster. I think, what was it, 2 players and a couple picks?
Yep.
I felt like that's a lot for a third-line right wing, but what do I know? We'll see. Are you going to go to the game March 3rd when the Habs are here?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't have tickets. See if we can get that. It's probably a hot ticket.
Hard to get now, yeah. So you said something's going on tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow is Pink Shirt Day, National Bully Awareness Day, and the Calgary Fire Department is getting together with the Calgary Hitmen, and they are putting on what they call as the Be Brave event. And the Hitmen have been doing this for the last 5 years, and we're partnering with them to spread awareness about bullying to school-age children. And we're pairing an event in the morning with the game at night where there'll be special price tickets, special price food, and they're going to be giving out pink rally towels, all in support of bully awareness.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Are you wearing one of those?
That's why I'm wearing my pink shirt underneath my uniform, just to kind of promote.
Are you going to do a Superman?
No, I'm not going to do the Superman.
Well, it's funny that you would say that because, as you know, my good friend Luke Mullender has been involved in that from the Saskatchewan side for years. He's been one of the top spokesmen, I guess, in the province for that. Imagine no bullying, right? And SaskTel involved. And it's funny, that began before COVID. And I'm wondering, can we extend the shirt to not just kids, but to adults too?
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. Well, Rod, you're such an advocate for mental health, right? And bullying and people being subjected to bullying is a major indicator of negative mental health effect, and not just for the targets, even the people doing the bullying.
There's something wrong with them too.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we don't attack, or I think that, for lack of a better term, these problems early when it's happening, it does manifest into problems in adulthood. They say 60% of people who were identified as bullies in school that didn't get help wind up with some form of a criminal record in adult life. So it's a big problem, but you also can't discount all the mental health issues that happen to people or groups of people that are victims of bullying. So I've been doing work with bully prevention for a number of years. I worked with Dare to Care, which is a charity that does educational workshops across North America. So I've done that for years while I was playing, and even now I still work with them in a lesser capacity. But this was just a marrying of all the things that I love. I work with in community safety with the fire department. We want to get ahead of some of these issues. We want to support these issues, and the Hitmen have been doing a fantastic job of this. This is the 5th year they've done the Be Brave event. 3 previous years, the event was a game that was attended by Calgary area schools. So they would have anywhere from 12 to 18,000 kids at an afternoon game.
What?
Yes. For the last 3, not the last 3 years. So for 3 years, they did that. COVID hit last year, and they couldn't do it. So they didn't hold the game, but they did a Be Brave event. And I was the host of this event last year, where we did an educational piece for students across Canada. It was attended by 700 classrooms. 45,000 kids last year saw this event in a year where they didn't have any events happen. So, schools across Canada were chomping at the bit. And this year they decided to do the educational piece again. So we're going to do that in the morning. We'll have a 9 to 10 a.m. event for K to 6th grade kids. And then from 10 to 11, we hit the high school kids. So I'll be hosting the event. We're going to have Tad Milmini. He's a guest speaker. He's a local CPS officer who was subjected to tons of abuse and bullying as a child. So he's going to share some of his experience. He's been doing this forever. We have some of the Hitmen players talking about bullying and kind of stepping up and what to do. So it's sort of a 1-hour presentation for both school age groups, and then they'll have the game in the evening. And the game doors open at 5, and they have basically a happy hour from 5 to 6, and special priced food and all that. And then the game is the Be Brave game.
Darren in Salt Lake City is watching, says, good for Randy and this cause. We have had 2 suicides of kids under 12 in the last 2 months here in Utah, brought on by bullying in school. Sad. Guess we know what we're doing tomorrow, Moose, because I was invited to the game. I didn't realize it was the pink game. Yeah, so Hitmen have always had pink in their uniform. Yep. Well, they changed it from what it used to be. But every once in
a while they pull out the pink. My buddy Brett the Hitman Hart, man.
I might have to go buy a pink tie or something. I'll see what I can dig up. Awesome. Chevy, listen, so Mark's going to be a regular, I hope. I hope you can say the same.
I would love to do this more often.
Yeah, it would be great.
Got to get Sheldon on at the same time. Get us together and we just do a whole day.
We'll set up a couple. Yeah, I can go. I can have a holiday. The Chevy and Nasty
we'll
show.
We'll never be quiet.
Oh, this has been fun. Well, I wouldn't ask you to. Chevy, thanks for coming down. And for all you do, congrats, man.
Thanks so much. Honestly, thank you for having me on and your success with this. I follow you guys, and I'm very happy for you and where this is going and where it can go.
I know you are. You're a good man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mark Steven for popping on. Arash Madani way back in hour 1. And what do we got tomorrow, Clark? What do we got coming up tomorrow? Do we have it booked? Peter Lobardius for sure, and he's working on another. So Lou will be down here as the Calgary Flames wrap up this very successful homestand and head out to Vancouver to hopefully start winning on the road. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern here on Game Plus Television and YouTube Live. Let's make some noise!
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
How about that? Approved. How about that? Spicy. Bob's your uncle. Hot take. LFG. Let's go. Oh no. Bingo. Right on.